I am remiss. We're a minute late. So we'll start off with our pre-meeting, and I guess the first thing on that agenda is the passenger railway support letter. I'm assuming all of you got a copy of it in the packet and read it over. Did you have any comments, Mr. City Manager?
Your Honor, thank you. No, not really. This is hopefully a lot more in line with what council was expecting versus the last time we talked about this. Florida's done a lot of work in working with the MPO down in Cheyenne to put this together. And as you can see, it's sort of a bifurcated message, as it were, in terms of the goals that we hope to accomplish and be supportive of. So if this meets your will and you're okay throwing our hat in the ring, as it were, to support these efforts, then I think this letter could serve that purpose.
Everybody okay with it? Very good. On to the next agenda review.
And Mr. Mayor, I really don't have a whole lot to bring up as it relates to items for tonight's agenda, other than to say our primary public hearing, if you will be related to the idea of dealing with construction times that is being altered with this proposal. And you know, we don't expect a whole lot of pushback, as it were.
Yeah, everybody will be at the county commission meeting.
Yes.
So to those county commissioners, thank you. Anybody have anything else for tonight's meeting? Everybody else good?
And wait, 12 minutes.
We will talk to you again in 27 minutes.
What'd you say?
He said from 1 minute late to 12 minutes early.
We're more than, yeah. We like to keep things moving.
Oh, now we gotta do small talk.
Oh, no.
I was visited and one of the gentlemen that runs that was concerned about the 3 because a couple of times when they've been applying for grants, it's only 3. And so
The water resource.
was wondering if,
Sure.
so
It's probably the same thing. Yeah.
that was easy.
Yeah.
And I apologize for forgetting to ask you about that in our meeting.
That's okay. No problem. No problem.
Okay,
So there's one thing that-
well, it appears that it is 6 o'clock, so we will start our meeting. So before we begin this evening, I would like to remind everyone to silence their cell phones. Council meetings are live streamed on the city's YouTube channel. I now call the March 19th, 2024 regular council meeting to order. All councilors are present. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please read the consent minute approval titles.
Approving the minutes of the February 20th, 2024 regular council meeting as published in the Casper Star Tribune on March 7th, 2024. The minutes of the February 20th, 2024 executive session. The minutes of the March 5th, 2024 regular council meeting as published in the Casper Star Tribune on March 16th, and the minutes of the March 5th, 2024 executive session.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent minute action agenda items just read.
So moved.
Second.
Any abstentions or nay votes?
I would like to abstain from A3 and A4.
All voting aye.
Aye.
Please record the vote.
With Vice Mayor Ingebretsen's abstentions noted and all other councilors voting aye, the motion passes.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the March 19th, 2024 general bills and claims as audited by City Manager Napier.
So moved.
Any abstentions or nay votes?
I'd like to abstain from 4B, please.
From what?
4B.
Okay. All voting aye.
Kyle,
Yes.
Counselor
I'm
Gamma,
a conflict.
4B is separated.
Ah. Okay. I do not abstain.
Thank you. I thought maybe there was something else in there. Okay.
That's
So,
good.
any abstentions or, we'll try this again. Any abstentions or nay votes? All voting aye.
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 Please record the vote.
With all councilors voting
The chair would entertain a motion to approve by minute action the March 19th, 2024 conflict claim as audited by City Manager Napier.
So moved.
Any abstentions or nay votes?
Mr. Mayor. Like to abstain. They write the words for me and everything. Gotta read it.
Wasn't gonna go there. All voting aye.
Aye.
Please record the vote.
Gamma abstaining and all others voting aye, the motion passes.
We would like to take this time to recognize members of the Casper Police Department. Would Chief McPeters please come forward and say a few words?
Mr. Mayor, Council, I'm appreciative of this opportunity to recognize the brave men and women who professionally serve this community, who provide professional services to the entire state. In this particular case, we authorized a large contingency of our people to assist our sister agency, the Sheridan Police Department, in a time of need. And I can report to this body that our police department represented the city of Casper extremely well. I have received countless compliments on the conduct and thoroughness and efficiency and professionalism of our people. Not only did we assist in tactical operations and patrol operations, but also in the health and wellness of their employees, providing critical services to their employees in a time of need. As your chief of police, I'm humbled to lead such a great body of people, and I am extremely proud of the service that they rendered to Sheridan. They represented this city well. They represented our profession with great professionalism. They were able to provide tangible and meaningful assistance to an agency that was in need, and still to this day, we continue to provide services to them. But I'm grateful for this opportunity to recognize the efforts of these brave and professional law enforcement officers and professional staff that serve this community so well.
Thank you, Chief. I now have a proclamation honoring those people, and as I read the names of the people that we are recognizing, if you are present, would you please raise your hand or stand so that people that are down here can know who you are, because we do appreciate everything that you do. So the proclamation reads, whereas Sergeant Nevada Cranky was a United States Army veteran and served the Sheridan Police Department for more than 6 years, and whereas Sergeant Nevada Cranky, who dedicated his life to protecting and serving, died in the line of duty Tuesday, February 13th, 2024, while serving the community he loved. Whereas the loss of Sergeant Cranky deeply impacted the Sheridan community, the City of Casper Police Department's presence during this difficult time was a beacon of strength and solidarity and provided comfort and reassurance to the Sheridan community. And whereas members of the Casper Police Department, the Special Response Team, peer support, administrative support, traffic control, firing detail, funeral detail, patrol, and dispatch were involved in supporting and assisting the City of Sheridan, and their dedication and willingness to go above and beyond has not gone unnoticed. And whereas Sheridan Police Chief Koltiska extends his heartfelt appreciation to these individuals and wants them to know that their support has left a lasting impact on their department and community. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Stephen Cathy, Mayor of Casper, Wyoming, do hereby proclaim that the efforts of the following individuals represented #our community and the City of Casper with unparalleled professionalism and compassion. Those individuals: Officer Michael Quirin, Officer Jake Bigelow, Officer Michael Chand, Officer Rayanne Williams, Officer Preston Atwood, Officer Hunter Eyrig, Officer Craig Burns. Go holler at Craig.
Down the hall.
Officer Nicholas Moore, Officer Tyler Kaufman, Officer Stephen Jensen, Officer Craig Morrison, Officer Michael Hughes, Officer Kason Bergen, Officer Ben Cook, K-9 Officer Cody Myers, K-9 Officer David Southcott, K-9 Officer Gordon Brown, Master Officer Jonathan Monday, Master Officer Jonathan Schlager, Master Officer Tiffany Elhart, Master Officer Ben Bedke, Master Officer Jack Fetter, Master Officer Walter Galloway, Master Officer Matthew Bowman, Master Officer Charlie Simon, Master Officer Terry Jackson, Master Officer Darren Douglas, Telecommunicator 2 Heather Gilliland, Telecommunicator 2 Vicky Van Norman, Telecommunicator 3, Kat Shumway. PCSS Lead Telecommunicator, Amanda Munoz. PSCC Training Supervisor, Jill Hickstein. PSCC Manager, Lori Jackson. Community Service Officer, Crystal Stewart. Community Service Officer, Patricia Moore. Community Service Officer, Sarah Ludgate. Community Service Officer, Mark Johnson. Administrative Specialist, Bev Skogard. Accreditation Manager, Michael Rand. Sergeant Adam Ulrich. Sergeant Josh Albrecht. Sergeant Michael Paschke. Sergeant Sarah Nelson. Sergeant Sarah Boyle. Sergeant Jeff Brunick. Lieutenant Jeff Bullard. Lieutenant Seth Wheeler. Captain Ryan Dabney. Captain Jeremy Trimble. And Deputy Chief Shane Cheney. In witness whereof, I hereby unto set my hand and cause the official seal of the city of Casper, Wyoming to be affixed this 19th day of March, 2024. For those of you that would like to receive, each one of you has an individual proclamation. They will be out in the lobby along with cookies. So you're welcome to go out there and pick up your proclamations and have some cookies. And again, we thank you all for your service. When you're both sitting on your laptop.
Yeah, that was, they get two cookies.
Oh, that's funny. Side job. That's awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah. We will, excuse me, we will continue on. Now is the time we invite anyone in the audience who wishes to speak with council to come forward. This portion of the meeting is dedicated to the public to allow them time to voice their concerns. Therefore, council will take communications under advisement, but if they choose to respond, they will do so at a later time. Please state your name, direct all questions and comments to the mayor and only the mayor. No personal obscenities or threats will be tolerated. Council will not respond to personnel matters. These will be referred to the city manager. If council chooses to address these matters, it will be done during the introduction of measures and proposals by council at the end of the meeting. Presentations will be limited to 5 minutes and no time extensions will be permitted. Please note that public hearings and ordinances each have their own comment period. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak to council this evening? They're all over to county commission. Please read the consent agenda titles.
Establishing April 2nd, 2024 as the public hearing date for consideration of 7A1A, new restaurant liquor license number 53 for Bruce Story LLC, doing business as Frontier Brewing Company, located at 150 West 2nd Street. 7A1B, an ordinance amending sections 15.40.105 of the Casper Municipal Code establishing a fire self-inspection program. And 7A1C, an ordinance amending sections 8.40.040 and 8.44.060 of the Casper Municipal Code pertaining to administrative fees for litter, weed, and pest control abatements.
The chair would entertain a motion to, by minute action, establish the public hearing dates just read.
So moved.
Okay.
Any abstentions or nay votes?
Abstain from item A1A, please.
All voting aye.
Aye.
Please record the vote.
With Counselor Pollock's abstention noted and all others voting aye, the motion passes.
Now declare the public hearing open for the consideration of an ordinance repealing section 15.16.010 regarding building construction hours. City Attorney, do you have any exhibits?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do. Exhibit number 1, correspondence from Justin Scott to J. Carter Napier, dated February 15th, 2024. Exhibit number 2, Casper Star Tribune, proof of publication, published on March 14th, 2024.
Mr. City Manager, do you have a report?
I do, Your Honor. Thank you, counselors. Good evening. This is the opportunity for you to consider on a formal basis changes related to staff's recommendation to change the times for construction and activities therein to be recognized in the body of ordinances at a different time. The proposal is that the window of time for those kinds of activities to take place be changed from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. Previously, in the currently in the ordinances, those are addressed Monday through Friday only. Council will recognize that in 2 different sections this evening. If you do approve, there will be a follow-up ordinance to be dealt with as well, pending your approval of this tonight.
Council will now listen to public comment. Public hearing comments are limited to 5 minutes and no duplication of speakers will be allowed. At this time, I would ask those individuals who wish to speak in favor of an ordinance regarding business construction hours, please approach the lectern. None appearing. At this time, I would ask those individuals who wish to speak in opposition to an ordinance regarding business construction hours to please approach the lectern. There being no one to speak for or against an ordinance regarding business construction hours, I now declare the public hearing closed. Please read the ordinance by title only.
An ordinance repealing section 15.16.010, building construction prohibited during certain hours, exceptions.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve on first reading the ordinance just read.
Second.
Discussion? One thing I would like to point out is that basically with this dealing with home construction, if you were a private citizen on a Saturday or Sunday building your deck and running your power saws, you would actually have been in violation of the current ordinance. This removes that from the law so that you are more than welcome from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. to go ahead and build your deck, do any of your own personal construction without having to worry about being in violation of the current noise ordinance. So wanted to make sure that everybody understood part of what this is all about. Any amendments? Any abstentions or nay votes? All voting aye? Aye. Please record the vote.
With all councilors voting aye, the motion passes.
Now declare the public hearing open for the consideration of an ordinance amending chapter 8.20 noise. City Attorney, do you have any exhibits?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do. Exhibit number 1, correspondence from Justin Scott to J. Carter Napier dated February 15th, 2024. Exhibit number 2, Casper Star Tribune, proof of publication, published on March 14th, 2024.
Mr. City Manager, do you have a further report?
Mr. Mayor, just to say that this is the second part of the code that needs to recognize the same changes that council approves.
Very good. Council will now listen to public comment. Public hearing comments are limited to 5 minutes and no duplication of speakers will be allowed. At this time, I would ask those individuals who wish to speak in favor of an ordinance amending chapter 8.20 noise, please approach the lectern. Not appearing at this time, I would ask those individuals who wish to speak in opposition to an ordinance amending chapter 8.20 noise to please approach the lectern. There being no one to speak for or against an ordinance amending chapter 8.20 noise, I now declare the public hearing closed. Please read the ordinance by title only.
An ordinance amending chapter 8.20 noise of the Casper Municipal Code.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve on first reading the ordinance just read.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Amendments? Abstentions or nay votes? All voting aye?
Aye.
Please record the vote.
With all councilors voting aye, the motion passes.
Please read the ordinance on third reading by title only.
Vacating a segment of alley abutting lots 5, 6, and 7, Kenwood addition to the city of Casper, located south of 816 South Jackson Street.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve on third reading the ordinance just read.
So moved.
Second.
Council will now listen to public comment. Public comments are limited to 5 minutes and no duplication of speakers will be allowed. None appearing. Any discussion amongst council? Amendments? Any abstentions or nay votes? All voting aye?
Aye.
Please record the vote.
With all councilors voting aye, the motion passes.
The chair would entertain a motion to adopt. Council will now consider consent resolutions. Please read the consent resolutions by title only.
10A1, authorizing an agreement with Paramount Construction Incorporated for the Center Street Underpass Painting Project. 10A2, authorizing an agreement with Octadale Construction Incorporated for the Cave Street improvements, St. Mary Street to Bryanstock Trail. 10A3, authorizing an agreement with Installation and Service Company Incorporated for the 2024 CPU asphalt repair project. 10A4, authorizing an agreement with 71 Construction for the Paradise Valley to Robertson Road Phase 1 project. 10A5, authorizing change order number 2 to agreement with Myers and Sons Construction LLC for the Sam H. Hobbs Wastewater Treatment Plant Secondary Treatment Rehabilitation Phase 2 project. 10A6, authorizing a purchase order for procurement of Sequest corrosion inhibitor from Aquasmart Incorporated for use at the water treatment plant. 10A7, authorizing a rental agreement with Spuds Baseball Club LLC for the use of Mike Lansing Baseball Stadium. 10A8, authorizing amendment number 2 to the contract for professional services with Cone Incorporated for the downtown parking structure elevator modernization project. 10A9, authorizing a consent to assignment of lease between the city of Casper, Wyoming, the Downtown Development Authority, and David Street Station. 10A10, authorizing a contract for professional services with Works Communications Incorporated, doing business as Mountain West Technologies Corporation for a building-wide Wi-Fi solution at the Ford Wyoming Center. 10A11, approving a vacation and final plat creating the Natrona County Health Addition subdivision. 10A12, authorizing the filing of an application for a grant under Title 49 USC Subtitle 3, Chapter 53, Sections 5310 and 5339, 49 USC Sections 5310 and 5339, as amended by the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, Public Law Number 117-58, November 15, 2021, and other authorizing legislation to be enacted, 10A13, authorizing the filing of an application for a grant under Title 49 USC Subtitle 3, Chapter 53, Sections 5311, 49 USC Section 5311, as amended by the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, Public Law Number 117-58, November 15th, 2021, and other authorizing legislation to be enacted. And 10A14, authorizing Amendment Number 1 to the contract for professional services with Monson Janitorial Services Incorporated for the citywide custodial services.
The chair would entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda items just read.
Second.
City manager, would you like to comment on any of these items?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
One thing, the change order 2, that's to go ahead and move forward with that second part of that project, so we don't have to reinstall the bypass piping. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That basically that change order there, and I wanted to bring that up, is that we're moving forward ahead of schedule to accomplish a second section of the repairs at the wastewater treatment plant. And by doing that now, as opposed to postponing it, saves us approximately $2 million in the setup and rental of and tear down of the bypass piping that is needed to accomplish that. And that equipment is already set up and in place. So we're going ahead to save that $2 million. So I just wanted the public to know as well, this isn't something special. This was supposed to be a phase 2. We're moving it up to save us a couple of $1 million. Beyond that, any abstentions or nay votes? Any other abstentions or nay votes? All voting aye.
Aye.
Please record the vote.
Counselor Gamrot's abstention noted, and all others voting aye, the motion passes.
At this time, we'll ask the councilors to bring forward relevant concerns or items of interest. We've got everybody here tonight. Let's start over here. We'll start with Councilor Pollock.
Okay, I'll work backwards. We had a Central Wyoming Regional Water Service Systems Joint Powers Board meeting today. We went over our capital plan for fiscal year 25. So that is, similar budget process as we go through here at the city. So that's the phase that we're in with that process. Didn't approve anything, just had it presented today. Somewhere in the neighborhood of $3.1 million capital plan for the year. Moving backwards, I had a LGBTQ advisory meeting on Friday. That meeting, let me pull up and see if there was anything I really needed to tell you. Mostly working, that group is putting together a booth at Pride again this year. So spent a fair amount of time talking about what, about the survey they brought to us, the data that they brought to us after last year. So planning to do that again this year. So just working on refining that tool to make sure that they're gathering useful information for us. So that was the bulk of that conversation. And I think that's all that I've been to since I last met with y'all, so that'll be it. Metro tomorrow, so provide that next week.
Councilor Bond.
Not much to report. I have a senior center board meeting on Monday. So I'll have more to report next Tuesday on that. So other than that, not much.
Make sure that I get a tame horse. I don't need a Greenbrook horse for the jockey race, okay?
You're signed up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
I did it last year. You'll love it.
I just had to throw that out. Yes, and that is what, April 1st, I believe.
April 26th.
April 26th. Okay, very good.
That's all I have.
Councilor Jensen.
I have nothing. Can you believe it? I can't think of anything at the moment.
Counselor Pacheco,
I have nothing. Thank you.
Counselor Haskins.
I have a health department meeting, so far it looks like scheduled on Thursday, so nothing for next week, but I don't have anything. Looks like there's a lot going on at the event center. 6 days of stay cool. Morning till midnight, almost every day, so they ought to be tired when they're done. Nothing.
Counselor Gamrock.
Thank you, Mayor. 2 items. I served on a panel last week for Leadership Casper class, along with the city attorney, Deputy Chief Cheney. Got to hang out with former Mayor Steve Friel for a little bit, and then Jared Levin, who is a captain, battalion chief at the fire department. And I graduated Leadership Casper with Jared actually, and we bumped together in Cheyenne. So I got the chance to meet him when I was in the class myself. So I really enjoyed that dialogue. Those folks asked great questions. If you're not gone through Leadership Casper, I'd encourage you to do so. It's a really good program. You'll learn a lot about your community. And then we had some presenters at a recent Rotary Club meeting that were seeking a designation of our county as a Pathways National Heritage Area. This designation recognizes the historical impact of the settlements and trails here. It can be used for marketing and development purposes through our tourism bureau, and it allows our area to seek heritage grants from the National Park Service. The Natrona County Board of Commissioners recently gave this group the go-ahead to conduct a feasibility study at no cost to any of the local stakeholders. And I would like to add it to a future work session of ours to essentially do the same thing. So I was hoping we could get that on a future work session to explore, given approval with these folks to move ahead and designate our area as a Pathways National Heritage Area.
Council okay with adding that to the work session?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Kyle, was this the group that, it's like a Natrona/Converse County area that they've identified?
I believe it was Carbon. Maybe it
Yeah,
was
one of the C
Yeah.
adjacent counties instead of the C. Alright, cool.
Correct.
Making sure that it's the same thing that I'm remembering.
Yeah, Oil City covered when the Board of Commissioners was covering it, so they had an article that has some more information on that.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm familiar with the project then, yes.
Council okay with adding that to a work session?
Mhm.
Looks like that's a done deal. Anything else?
I don't have anything tonight. Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
I have a couple. Last Thursday was a busy day. I attended the drug court. And so they consistently have about 47 clients in their programs. And then I went to Parks and Rec after that. And so figure skating and talked to you about the amateur hockey. Figure skating has members from 4 years old to 43 years old, and they had a little bit of issues with the locker room, but it sounds like those problems got resolved. Amateur hockey remains very busy with 239 users, and they're trying to expand some team programs for high school girls. And then on an average weekend for the hockey season, the concession stands are bringing in an average to $5,000 to $7,000 a weekend. So Chad's going to be coming in and bringing us some additional ideas for making some money and some additional programs. And then Thursday morning, we have the Natrona County government meeting at 7 a.m. with breakfast.
When did you say?
It's Thursday.
Okay. I missed, no,
You're
I
supposed
missed.
to be there too.
I'm not gonna be. I was gonna visit with you about that. No, I'm gonna be out of town.
Okay.
So, but no, I thought you said Wednesday. That's why I questioned it. No. Very good. And I attended the same Joint Powers Water Board meeting as Councilor Pollack, so I will defer to her comments about the meeting. I had 2 meetings canceled yesterday and gonna be out of town for a couple of days, so that's all I've got going on. The next meeting of City Council will be a work session to be held at 4:30 on Tuesday, March 26th, and a regular council meeting to be held at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, April 2nd. A notice of an executive session to take place at this date and during this meeting was given. We have matters to discuss matters related to personnel and land, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn into executive session at the conclusion of that executive session to reconvene this regular meeting. 2 resolutions will be considered by council following the executive session.
So moved.
Mr. Mayor. We were probably not gonna need the land portion tonight, just for the record.
Very good. Did you get that captured? Okay, there are a majority of councilors present and a motion to adjourn into an executive session has been moved and seconded. This motion requires a 2/3 majority of council present. Any abstentions or nay votes? All voting aye. Please record the vote.
And passes.
A greater than 2/3 majority of council present voted in favor of the motion. We are hereby adjourned into an executive session.